Morning,
Hello.
everyone. Hello,
Good
hello,
morning.
Zika. Good morning.
Hi, Carolina.
It's good to be back. I hope my connection is now better since I'm back in the city. I
Yeah,
want
I can
first of
hear
all
you
to
well.
thank you for last week and the comments you did as well. And I'm happy to start again today in the morning with everybody who is here to watch this series later on YouTube, on Instagram, be it in English, Portuguese, or in German. Since we had many topics coming up and we could not do it in English the last weeks, we will just remind ourselves about the topics, everything that came from Germany that was discussed, and we will bring it back to you here in English so that we can all move on together. And I think this is already, Zika, one very important topic on itself, that we have the patience and the consciousness to walk together, because you could simply go onwards with Folge 4, episode 4, and Germany would be, so to say, ahead in time, but that would not be the group, that would not be the unit. And this is also what nature does, what some folks and countries still do nowadays, although we don't hear much about it. So I want us to invite everybody here to reflect and act in unit, not one ahead and the others following, but waiting the right timing to walk together, or acting as we can to walk together and not before and not after. So this is my start, and I want you to give your words as well.
Thank you. Yeah, last week um, I wanted to start the live, and yeah, I had no connection to Carolina, and so I was about to think, what should I do? Should I go on my own? Should I wait? Should we postpone that? Or yeah, so and I had that feeling to go on myself without waiting for her. Well, I waited for 1 hour, but then I was like, I know, I think I can start. And there were so many thoughts I had in between, because yeah, it was about commitment, as we started with commitment in series 1 and now in episode 1. And so I was wondering how Carolina is, how why she why I can't contact her, because usually it's working somehow. But I
Always.
somehow also got, spoiler, the calling. Ah, that's a test. You need to go on yourself, um, to show that things can be working together, although one of the group isn't available.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even if I don't know what happened, I mean, it could have happened anything. Like she was just sleeping, or in your case, it was internet. It was just
Connection, no
you
connection.
bad connection, yeah. And then I was afraid because she told me about her work in the Campinas, and so it was about truth, about visibility, and that only corruption can be healed by visibility and by the truth. And if you make something visible by video, talking about online like we do right now, um, this leads to a consciousness that the topics are talked about. So they are present, they are put into real life, and they are kind of documented, so
Mm-hmm.
they can't be like just put away. Oh, this didn't happen. No, she didn't say it. Well, she
Mm-hmm.
did, and here you can see it. That's the link. Go watch yourself. And this is what I felt. So I was afraid that things she already did or she already said might feel or might lead to some discomfortment for her due to
Mm-hmm.
corruption. So maybe I was afraid that there might be people who wanted to stop her, and uh,
Mm,
this was just in my head, because I know what you're putting yourself into. Um, you're traveling a lot. I don't know whether your travels are guided. I guess, do you travel on alone?
yes. I mean, all
I
the
mean,
time the families I am supporting, they welcome me, and they connect with friends of friends or people they know, so that I can get to their place, be it by car or by boat or by motorcycle. So it's always people's connections and people's hearts that are guiding the way, Zilka. But you are completely right. To do this kind of work, I cannot be afraid of suffering of something, because this is
yeah,
possible and this happens.
yeah, and
And
this.
yeah,
So I also know that our consciousness is very important. So I was just like putting my brain into everything is right. Go ahead, trust the universe. God is with her, and yeah,
yeah,
and
and that's it.
someone we connected
I
it
ask. I think on these in these cases, you can only trust God, trust life, trust the universe to take care of you. And if something goes wrong or goes bad, I don't know. I don't know. I think you just need to have understanding and ask yourself, okay, why is this happening? Maybe for something greater than just my safety. Because you can just imagine if something would have happened, and then you would know it, and you would go directly to Germany, and this would be on the news at the other side of the world, and maybe my suffering would help people to know faster about how the Amazon is being literally destroyed. So I didn't
to
show you guys that. I should have done that in another call, but you believe you come there and you see a big forest? You don't see that anymore. There is no forest anymore. You don't come there
you
and
posted a
you don't
you
see
posted a
the
picture.
forest.
There were like
Two
three
trees.
trees, and I was like, huh? Where the trees gone?
Yes.
I mean,
Everything is just put down for farms and cows. That's what you see in the Amazon nowadays. And then you have pockets of forest isolated. That's what that's what's over. That's the leftover of the biggest rainforests in the world, in many parts of Brazil, Bolivia, Peru. So it's extremely. I mean, it's not even sad. It's horrible. It's terrible. It's crucifying. And I told the family there, I told them this is not for right now, because I don't have the power to start this right now. Although I did start with the intention, but I told them a founding. We will start a founding for raising raising money so that we can rebuy those lands from the farmers one by one and replant. We will replant those trees. We will replant the Amazon, because many people don't know, Zika, but the Amazon forest, it didn't just happen. It was not just there. It grew that way because of the indigenous people who lived there for centuries before the Portuguese arrived, and they were planting, they planted, they cultivated the Amazon. It's a garden, it's an indigenous garden. That's the history of the Amazon. Go on, please.
I get. show me. Um, I cried because it was
Mm-hmm.
like, I believe you, I trust you,
Mm-hmm.
so I know it's
Yeah,
true what you're saying. But
yeah,
here it's like, what?
that can be
You
possible, right?
know, yeah, how?
Yeah.
Um, so please, we need pictures, we need videos. Please show that. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
because there are those campaigns, build one tree, you know what I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay,
And
so
that's so we are going already to the corruption topic, and I think it's just asking to come from episode 3 that you did in German. We will comment on the dry flowers at the end.
yeah,
So you spoke about the actions, right? Plant one tree, and there are so
um,
many NGOs. Yes.
but before that, you said maybe if something would have happened to you, maybe
Mm-hmm.
this, yeah, it's things happen for a reason. So
Mm-hmm.
this was what I was also taking into consideration. I was afraid, oh no, I hope everything is fine. I hope I don't have to channel her. So, I was like, oh no. Um, um,
Yes.
this is so. It's also about calming your mind. We have to. We are not allowed. We're not invited. We have to train our minds, our thoughts, what we think.
Mm-hmm. And we need to stop thinking and feeling just for the individual. I think that's the secret, to know
Uh
there
huh.
is really a higher wisdom above everything. I mean, if
Mm.
God exists, if the cosmos exists and did all of these, which is beautiful and incredible. I mean, the ugly things were made by humans. So I can consider, even if I don't believe in God, I believe I see the universe and I see everything the universe did is perfect and beautiful and incredible. So the universe doesn't allow anything bad to happen, right? I can think like this. And if I believe in God, I know God is a good and perfect being, and nothing in its mind will happen for something that's simply bad. There is always a higher commitment, there is always a higher purpose. So when we go out of
Yeah,
the individual, we can look for that.
maybe there even is a judgment.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yes. But going back to the
Okay. Yeah.
corruption comment I wanted to bring up. I don't know how much you spoke about it in the German episode, but I don't think we need to have it one to one, but it will be funny to see if the same thoughts arrive. That's incredible because I didn't watch her live. I didn't have time for that. And
Um,
so
I
the money, Zika, for example, Germany has so many um, sent so many foundings to Brazil and other countries. And I can tell you 100% from all the places I went to already since I came back 4 years ago, this money doesn't reach the real people. It stays
yeah,
in sub layers. The money, it's like it's millions of euros that are sent over to countries so that poor people or uh, environment problems can be corrected, so that water supplies can be built. It's so many things, and nothing of that, or very little of that, gets to the people. So I have cases where we know that 1 million was sent, and you ask the people that live there in the countryside, they were supposed to receive the benefits of this money, and you ask them, how much did you see from this money, how many things did they build here from this money? This is for infrastructure, even tourism, even for tourism. And they say, no, there, nothing was done. There is nothing being done here. We didn't see any money arrive. We didn't see any construction being built. So it's sadly, it's quite easy for the middlemen to just show receipts and this and that and say the money was spent, but it wasn't, or it was spent somewhere else and not there where it was needed. So the huge problem that allows corruption to happen everywhere in the world is the lack of transparency, is the lack of being there to see, which is what I'm doing. I'm going there to see. I'm not watching the news. I'm not even asking a close friend that lives close by. No, I'm going there to see. And I think this is the lesson. The way of acting in the new earth, in the new era, is being present and being there to see. So forget Instagram, forget posts, forget the television, forget the newspaper. You need to choose a place and you need to go and see, and you need to be there to change. You need to be in a place of your choice and drive transformation there with full transparency. Um, that I believe this is the only way to end up corruption.
Yeah, I mean, I have that in my microcosmos with the work I'm doing. Also see that I can change things better if I'm
Mm-hmm.
there where the things happen.
Yes,
Yes, we can work remote, but if we go there and connect directly, it's something completely different. Mm.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. Is this somehow related to the things you brought up last week?
yeah. I forgot about the word corruption. I said, if people don't give money to persons where it should be this word with K, 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 and but yeah, I think it was clear. But in the end, yeah, it was. I'm happy that you share this right now with the world, because this is what I was talking about, but just on a very low level.
Okay.
And now we know more, and that's great. And I said it would be great if you would, I might share a bit more of your work so people can really see what you're doing there.
Yes.
Yeah,
We are
you
starting to
already do on
translate.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Mm.
we are starting to translate the NGO webpage to English. It might be ready by the end of this month. So we have our first volunteers in Europe, which are who are working on that, and it will be really, really important to share the message and share what we are doing in
Okay.
for real, right? For real. And that's also the reason we don't even want to get big, because when things get big, they start to be intransparent, so not transparent. Not because people don't want it. I believe it's kind of impossible to keep it transparent. So we want to stay small. We want to be a small NGO. We want to take care of a few groups, a few families, but go really, really deep. We are not there to do a project and then go away. We are walking life with those families. We are like building a companionship so that their life can get better, their environment can get better, and that those wrong things can get into the sunlight. That's the purpose. And when we walk maybe 3, 4, 5 years with one of those families and everything gets back in place and better, then okay, then we can go and choose another place, another family, and do the same work. And maybe we multiply ourselves as ourselves as cells, right? But all little small cells and not a big NGO, not a big corporation as we see out there in the third sector, which also ends up eating up the money to keep itself, to keep the structure of the NGO.
I don't understand. I have a thought. I don't understand how it's completely linked, but I'm start just talking.
Mm-hmm.
Last no half a year ago, I started to talk to Lyra and Draco, their star systems or star pictures. I don't know how you said.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that feeling of deep forgiveness. They
Okay.
wanted to forgive each other so hard, but they couldn't because
Mm-hmm.
they were so hurt. But that wish to forgive each other is also very strong. And what I learned the last 1.5 years in my own life is how to forgive. And once you are in that forgiving process, you think, okay, maybe I'm in my forgiveness process right now, but then there come the deeper the healing, the deeper the, oh no, maybe I can't do this anymore,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
there, the deeper I go, the more I feel hurt, or the
Mm-hmm.
more I feel where I'm still hurt. I
Yes.
always compare that like you have just a little lamp, and
Yes.
you have a notion, so you watch that and put some light on a small area, but then you
Mm-hmm.
come up with a very big light, maybe from a football stadium, you know what I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
put that into that water, and so that you will be able to see much more. And so this
Yes.
comes up, and once
Yes.
this comes
Yes.
up, I'm not able anymore to say, oh, I'm so forgiving. And but this is, and I recognize that with my own with myself, that this pushed me back. I
Mm-hmm.
was here
Mm-hmm.
in the
Mm-hmm.
process of forgiving, and then there came light to more things, and I was like, oh no, I can't do this anymore, I need to heal
Yes.
more. And
Okay.
connecting that microcosmos to the macrocosmos, I understood what we are doing here is linked to the
Yes.
outside, is linked
Yes.
to other systems.
Yes.
Everything we are having here, the topic of refugees, the topic of
Mm-hmm.
trying to forgive each other, it's everywhere. It's not only
Mm-hmm.
here, it's in the whole cosmos,
Mm-hmm.
what I
Mm-hmm.
felt.
Yes. And we
Yeah.
need that because you use the word judgment, Zika, and this I think this is the most dangerous word we have nowadays. Like the most dangerous thought or action we can have nowadays, judging, and it pulls us back. I have the same experience as you. So if I would go and say, so I will judge the people that just, steal the money in the middle of the way so that it doesn't get to the people. I can judge them. But I can get stuck into judgment and say you are bad and I don't like you, and I can develop negative feelings, and then I get stuck into wanting to make it right and wanting them to pay. I mean, if they pay, we have laws for that, and that's great, and that's important in that sense of keeping the order and making the laws be applied for good. But I cannot stop my feelings and my work and stay there, like to make them pay. It's not about it. I mean, they made maybe a big wrong thing. Maybe I did already big wrong things or small wrong things. But if people will stay there to make us pay instead of walking forward and acting and doing what is important, we will take so long to change. So I think in this sense, it's like stop looking at the wrong and stop fighting the wrong and just get all your energy, your full energy, and focus into building the new earth, focus into building
That's
the
it.
new era. You know, like it will die.
Focus.
Those wrong things, they will die on their own. They will really
You
die.
know, last night I have that problem. I want to sleep more, but then there are those books. It's like sleeping, reading. Okay, so and I was at the moment I read talks or however talks to God from Neil Donald Walsh
Mm-hmm,
3,
mm-hmm.
and the topic is the same thing. Interesting. Um, Once you let go of the things you might judge, you let them go. And so you don't make them present. Once you judge them, or once you say, that's whatever, or you say, oh no,
Mm-hmm.
this is not happening, you make them even more real.
Yes,
And
exactly.
God in this book said, like, just let it go.
Yes,
Let
just
it
let it
go
go. It
and
was
focus, as
wrong,
you
so
said.
just let it go. Yes,
Yeah,
that's it.
okay, go on. Bye.
Yeah. And I think this is really the best we can do for ourselves and for everybody outside. Really, really.
And what I learned from my daughter, she always says, interesting. I was
Mm.
like, oh, that's cool. Interesting. Goes
And
on.
then, exactly,
Interesting.
exactly. Oh, that's it. It's beautiful how things are really connected and the messages they come in the right order, even if we don't prepare and even if I didn't listen to your message from last week. And I'm so so grateful for this connection. And then
Yeah,
before
thanks for the internet for no
we
connection.
thanks for no connection. And today for the connection. Everything is in place. And
Yeah.
before we close, I wanted to comment on the dried flowers. Um,
Ah, yeah.
so
Sorry.
I could not really understand much of what you were saying. So I watched the episode and I did already also the impulse in Portuguese for the people here in Brazil and Portugal and all the other Portuguese speaking
Obrigada.
languages. And I think one addition I wanted to put is um, so the question from Laura, right? Correct me
Lena.
if Lena. The
Yeah.
question from Lena was regarding the vegetable realm. How should we handle dried flowers? Is that okay? It's not okay? How do you see that? And when I was speaking Portuguese and complementing your words, one aspect came up that I want to share in addition that is flowers and minerals, they have one difference from animals and human beings. When they are dried, they are not necessarily, they didn't necessarily die. Their spirit can still be very present there. If a human being dies, that means we died. So we are going back to earth, right? So we go there, we bring our bodies back to earth. In case the flower really died, this is one of the possibilities. We should always bring the flower or the mineral ware back to earth. We should not keep it at home. In this case, where it's really ended service and essence, it needs to go back to earth so that it goes back to the essence of life. That's also why we put ourselves, when we die, back into the ground. But there are cases in which flowers and human beings work together with a purpose. And this creates an energy field that, let's say, makes it possible to extend the lifespan of that being because it's not so organic as we are. like for our organic body as ours, or for an animal, this is not possible, but for a vegetable or a mineral, this is possible. So when I go into the garden with that consciousness, listening to the flower, and I have a purpose. I want to make maybe a pin, right? For healing or for beauty or for inspiration. And I go into that garden and I sense which flower wants to accompany me in that mission, right? It's the two of us. The two of us are signing up for that mission of creating that pin together. It's not my creation, it's our creation. And then I invite the flower. The flower says, yes, it's me. I have this mission. I feel this mission. So I collect the flower in the right manner. I take it to dry. Flower should never dry in the sun, for example, because the sunlight, in this case, will take out the essence of the being, flowers, and other stuff. So you take it to dry in the shadow, because it will stay there for a really, really long time until it's dried. And all this process needs to be like, it's like a prayer or an intention. Like you are in this process to become that pin. And then, although it's drying, it's not dead. The essence and the intention and the consciousness are living in that being, which the form is now a dry flower, which will be put in a pin. And that will live sometimes for, I don't know, 100 years. It depends on how strong the intention was, the prayer was from you, and the connection with the flower, with the being. So when this is done
Wow.
mechanically, the spirit of the flower cannot survive. And then you are keeping the flower in the wrong place because it already died and it should be on the ground. But if you do it with the right consciousness and work, that spirit is alive and it's fulfilling a purpose. So it can be there in the pin or in an arrange inside of the house. So this is the complement I wanted to bring.
It's beautiful. I had thank you. I had a frame in the practice, and I put some lavender or Beifus into it,
Mm-hmm.
and in order to work together. Yeah, Artemisia, I
Yes.
love it.
Yes.
I love it so much. It's so great,
Yes.
and it stays there, and it's beautiful, and its spirit is just helping. Yeah,
Exactly.
but I wasn't aware of it. I just did it, but now this makes
Now you know
sense.
it.
So thank you. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. So yeah, it was
Um,
beautiful that she brought this question, because
yeah, and mhm,
we sense it, but we don't know it.
yeah, and what also happened with that question, what happens or what is about dried flowers?
Yes.
There were coming up so many thoughts about how to fertilize the fields, and about dried toilets, and uh, yeah, so we had a bunch
Yes.
of different topics that wanted to be seen, um, and it was and so I made some jokes about it in my private Instagram. So
Yes.
the question is about dried flowers, and the answer
But
is this, and
I saw
dried
it.
flowers. so
I
thank you,
saw
you
it.
know, and I didn't expect that, um, and so I also felt like nature or the spirits that wanted to talk to us or make themselves visible, that they kind of wait for it, or they want to talk to us, and so they were like, oh, this and this and this and this. I was like, oh, okay.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
interesting.
Yes. And yes, there are many, many messages I feel just as you. There are many, many messages, and it's also hard to keep it straight, right, and keep it to a topic because it's also all connected, and they want it all to be heard because those spirits they are trying to talk to humanity since many, many years, really many years, and now there is no time anymore. So they are basically screaming to anybody who gives attention to listen because or they are living together with us to make this transition work. They are also living beings of this planet, and we just have one way to go, or we listen to them and we straighten up our connection and start acting on it as we're talking, right? We change our actions right now, or I don't know. We will see what happens otherwise. But
Yeah.
they want it so much to happen, and they want to create pillars of work, cells of work that goes back into what you said, microcosmos and microcosmos, to make it work. So they are building pillars of energy, of messages, of focusing work, channeling work that goes into action, doesn't stay just here with us. Let's say, I am channeling. You are channeling to bring action, right? But they are building those small cells around the whole globe with the
Yeah, and
intention to
what?
connect everything faster. Because if we work in smaller cells, connected cells, it will go faster.
And this is shining out to different people. I had that in my field that there are so many people wanting to show up with themselves and with their topics as well, but they're afraid. And I was too. And I guess same feeling.
Yes,
So
yes,
so you felt like, um, and but what's happening is that I also show how I'm feeling. Last week, I was very insecure. I was afraid, and I showed this because I mean, what should I do? Should I say sit here and la 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 la? I don't know where Carol is.
no, yes,
And
yes,
in the beginning, I felt quite uncomfortable, but I know how it's integrating more and more. And usually, it takes like some days to 2 weeks, maybe once something is integrated. But we're doing this for 4 weeks now, and I don't feel like it's fully integrated right now because it's a
yes,
very big topic. And this is what I want to share with all of you. Um, this is just the beginning. Show yourself, open up, don't be afraid. Um, and you, all of you, we are having some special gifts and that need to be shown and that are able to shine out and to give so much transformation. And
yes.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you too, Zeka. Thank you too. And yes, starting to act differently is very uncomfortable at the beginning because the whole world outside is saying, this is crazy, this is not the way, but we know the old way is not the way anymore. So we are the pioneers. So what we are sensing just here for making the live, it's what we will sense on a daily basis when we start acting the way we should be acting and not in the wrong manner. So this here is a training so that we can succeed outside.
Yeah, it's
Thank you
getting
so
easier.
much. It's getting
Thank you
easier.
too.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
All the
Bye.
best. And we see everybody next Monday around this time, 6:30 a.m. That's 9:30 a.m. in England and 10:30 in Germany. Talk to you.
Bye bye.
Bye.